Good day, traders. Good day, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Today, I'm talking about DXY. So, the last time I made a video talking about DXY, and I was saying that our entry will be on the 4 hour, and our take profits will be on the 100% retracement level, which is calculating from the swing low to this swing high. Okay, so now we wanted to have a trade around here. So at that time I was saying that this bullish candle need to close above this trend line, and it was left with 48 minutes for it to close. So I was waiting, and when this candle was closed, I saw that this move was not the move that I want, because this was a strong, a whole of this, let me say a whole of this, was looking like a morning star, right? This bearish engulfing candle, this doji, and this bullish engulfing candle was a morning star on sitting on a strong support level, monthly support, monthly zone. So I was expecting this candle to have a strong bullish momentum to the upside, at least closing around here, closing around this here, you see. So I was not interested, so I didn't trade. I wanted this candle to close and another candle, bullish engulfing candle, to close again. So I waited for another 4 hours. Then I saw that this bearish, this doji came. So I said that, oh okay, I need to wait. So I waited for another 4 hours. So I was not looking at the chart of 4 hours. I was doing something else. So when I set an alarm, so when it was time, I came and checked that has it closed above again, or what is this candle also saying. So I came, and this candle was has closed inside this counter trend line. So I was not interested, so I needed to chill again. So I thought it was a breakout retest and at least a candle confirmation to the upside, you see. So I waited. So I think the whole of last 2 days, this candle, I was waiting for a strong confirmation for me to enter, course I was very interested in this trade. So as I was saying that the DXY measures the growth of the dollar, and also, so if the DXY is not telling us that it wants to move higher, that means EURUSD will not be as good as we want. So I wanted to trade EURUSD because the inverse version of DXY is the EURUSD. So as I drew my candle trend line from this swing low, it touches this candle. So this was a strong close, right? But the reason why I didn't trade this was because it was inside a major zone, and it's part of the rules. It's part of my rules. I don't trade inside the zone. I wait for the breakout of the zone. So as this candle was forming, I wanted the breakout to be very massive, at least a strong breakout like this. You see, something like a strong breakout like this for me to enter the trade. But when I saw this candle was too small for me to enter a trade. So I waited. I waited for a little bit confirmation, and as the DXY was also not cooperating, I was not able to enter my trade. So guys, that was it. That was the reason why I didn't trade, and our trade was not favorable as we thought. But as I was saying, we are still bullish at the moment. We are still bullish because as our monthly time frame is telling us, we can't say we are bearish. We are still bullish. Looking at the trend, looking at our trend, we are still bullish. From looking at this, you can see we are moving to the upside on the monthly time frame, and this whole thing was is in a range, and it looks like we are broken this range. You see, this bullish candle has broken it. So let's wait for maybe some weeks and see what. So on the weekly, this inner trend line is also guiding it to the upside, you see. And from our daily, I think this counter trend line has saved us some money, you see, because we were using this counter trend to enter some trade and make some pips to the upside. So now this market is still pulling back. It's pulling back. We are retracing. You see, we are retracing. So at least when these investors are able to get some profit, they need to take out something. So these are one of the reasons we are pulling back. And as the US and Iran, these tensions are also a factor. So now we are waiting because because this is a sign of, so this double bottom and this high low pullback. There's a range, there's a high, there's a pullback, there's a higher high. So if I should go on a fresh page, you see that this high, a pullback, higher high, a pullback, higher high, a pullback, you see. So between this level, between this level and this level, between this low and this high, anything that happens between inside this and this is a retracement. So if this candle is able to close below this, that means there's a minor change. You see, there's a minor change, maybe it wants to, okay, so using our trend line, okay, so maybe if we move something like this, there's an upward move on the daily time frame, and if we are pulling back, and at least we could see some, this might be the third touch of the trend line, right? So using our Fibonacci to see if we can get some confluence. So okay, so if we could pull back, at least test the 61.8 retracement, and it's able to close above, that means we could move higher, or we might not be retracing that big, maybe because of that strong support. Because of this strong support, we might not be moving higher. Maybe we might retrace a little bit, but looking at from this black line between the top and the down, anything that happens between here is a retracement. So our bias is still bullish. So that's the reason why I didn't trade, because the breakout was not as we want. The breakout was not juicy. So let's move to GBP USD. So GBP USD, as I was saying the other time, that if GBP is also looking bullish, GBP, if I would trade GBP USD, then I'll wait for it to close above this minor daily resistance, a pullback, and a candle confirmation to the upside, something like this, a high, a pullback like this, and a confirmation to the upside, right? So now the dollar is not looking bullish for the moment. So let's see if GBP will look bullish if the dollar is weak now. So if I will trade GBP USD, not now, this close, this full bullish engulfing candle tells us that there are a lot of buyers around, because from the weekly we are also seeing this strong trend line which is guiding it to the upside, right? And this is the third touch of the trend line. 1, 2, 3 on a weekly. And this whole thing, the reason why trading in a range is a bit difficult is because when the market is not trending, you have nothing to do about it. You need to wait, because if we are there, because this whole thing is in a range, so trading inside the range is difficult. So me, I'm not a range trader, I'm a trend trader. So we are trying to navigate through it, like find a way to trading, and it is very risky. So if you are trading inside the range, you need to use a little stop lot size, you see. And this trend line is also, you can see this trend line also has become a stumbling block. You see, this trend line is also moving downwards. So it's a whole roller coaster. Like you can't identify it properly, you see. So trading inside the range, let me show you the reason why I say it's in the range. Delete this. So if the dollar index you see, this whole thing is in a range. GBP USD is in a range, so it's difficult for you to trade ranging markets. Either you stay out, or if you find a setup inside the range, you need to use a minimum lot size. So the breakout of this range is where you can be able to trade, because if we break out, we are likely to move in the same duration, the same momentum that we had in the range. That's the same way we will be moving to the upside. Okay, so either you stay out, or for me, I don't trade in the range, but I try to use my strategy to find a trade. If it doesn't favor me, I'm not trading. So from looking at this daily trend line, which is guiding it to the, which is also looking, this descending trend line is also, see, it's also looking something else. So trading inside a range, either you wait for the breakout of the range, or you stay away, you see. So, and DXY is also has been, since DXY is also in a range, DXY was also in a range, but it seems to be breaking the range. So right now we are just watching. And for Bitcoin, I have nothing to say about Bitcoin. And for GBP CHF, I think we are still moving to the upside. And AUD USD, I was saying something about AUD USD, that those who want to trade for a bearish move, this candle, a candle close, was possible, but for me, I was not interested in AUD USD because of what the monthly and the weekly time frame is saying. So this look, let me go on the first page. So this whole move on the weekly, you can see that we are in there. It needs to touch the wick. So we can see that AUD USD is looking bullish at the moment, you see. And this, so this is how it goes: a high, so we have a high, a low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, you see, a higher low. So between this high, and this low, we are still in a bullish trend. So if we could close, we could break this minor support. That means we could move to the downside. But now we are still, for me, I'm not interested in you. I won't be interested in AUD unless we are able to break this strong resistance. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying that it's a strong resistance is that from our previous, let me go to the first page. So we're looking, if we are drawing our major zones. So these are major zones. You see, so we've tested here, we've tested here, we break it, we breached this level, we came to test. When we break it, we came to test again. So this level previously, from our previous study, you can see we have a strong momentum here. And this whole candle, this bearish candle was still below. So you can't tell me you are still interested in what I'll do is that I can't control it. This candle should close about this resistance. Then that's we are likely to go to the upside. Okay, so now, okay guys, that's the reason why because of DXY really, as I said, I'm not into trade, but our trade was not favoring us. It was not favorable as we thought. That's what we predicted or speculated. So thank you guys. I wish you all the best. And also if you are trading, please try to be real with your analysis. Okay? Be real with your analysis. And don't be jumping from one strategy to the other.